If you want to be a persuasive speaker one-on-one with somebody, don't start with a negative opening. What do I mean by that? I'm Bruce Rule. I'm a writer and editor, and I help my clients with all kinds of writing, social media posts, articles, letters, memos, basically anything they've written, I take and I make better, or I write it myself. But I also teach public speaking workshops, and I work with public speaking clients. And one of the things that I talk a lot about with them is how to be more persuasive, how to be more convincing. And one of the things that I think we all fall into, but it's a danger when there's a power dynamic, when you're the boss or you're a parent, you tend to fall into a habit of getting frustrated when you're talking to somebody, and you start a conversation with a negative opening. And what I mean by that is, as I've already told you, I thought we agreed. You should have. Why did you? When you start with that kind of opening, you automatically put the other person on the defensive, no matter who the other person is. We all feel defensive when we hear that kind of opening. Now, granted, it can be frustrating at times when you had to talk to the same person about the same thing over and over again. I get it. But we're not talking about your frustration. We're talking about trying to be persuasive and get things done the way you want. And sometimes that means you're having to swallow that frustration and avoid the negative opening. You know, what you have to do is you have to go in sideways sometimes. You know, well, see that happen, and what exactly happened? What did you think was what? Didn't we talk about this one time before? What did we decide? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we decided that. And there was something different this time that you decided you had to do it differently? Tell me what was going on. If you do that kind of thing, now I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you can see what I mean. If you go into it with, we're on the same side, we just got to solve this situation, you're going to be more persuasive. You're going to get them to think about what they did wrong and what they can do better. And it's the better is where you want them to be. Starting with a negative, you're going to put them on the defense, and they're not going to pay attention to anything else you've got to say. Or they'll sort of pay attention, but they'll be annoyed, and they'll have their back up, and they'll already be thinking about their excuses while you're talking to them before you even finish. To be a persuasive speaker, you got to avoid that. You got to talk to them in a way that they're going to feel like you're on their side and you're there to solve a problem. Do it with your children, do it with your spouses, do it with your partners, do it with your people above and below you in the company. Obviously, when it's somebody above in the company, you sort of swallow that frustration anyway. You don't normally start out with a negative. But understand that when you open with a negative, you're going to put people on the defense. And when they're on the defense, it's awful hard to persuade them. What do you think? I know I've gotten caught doing it at times, and I always kick myself afterwards. Do you fall into the habit of starting with a negative opening? If you do, try doing it a different way, because I really think if you want to be persuasive and you want to move people to something else, you gotta go with something more positive or neutral at the beginning. Starting with a negative, it's really not the way it's going to work. Please comment down below. Let me know if you think that it makes sense or if you think there's some other way you should start. I'd really appreciate it. Like and share this video because it's helpful for everybody, not just writers and not just public speakers, but I think everybody could learn from learning to avoid a negative opening. And please hit the like button. It'll help me. You'll get notice whenever there's a new video if you subscribe. So please subscribe. And until next week, take care. Bye.